welcome. Happy to be on stage here with Kamal Hassan from Turn8 Accelerator, one of the leading accelerator startup hubs here in Dubai in the UAE. We know that there are quite a few topics today and tomorrow about venture capital, so we're going to try and take maybe a little bit of a different angle about it. And we know that here in the region that there is problem from the pipeline of both sides. We need more startups, we need more investable, innovative, scalable, exciting, ready startups. And we also need more investment that is able to put money into them, but also put in much more than just money. So Kamal, I wanted to ask you about what you think about this. You term this venture capital 2.0. What do you mean by that, and what gap is it filling here in the region?
Yeah. Well, thank you, David. I heard today, and I keep hearing the same thing over and over, that VCs, especially in this region, are receiving hundreds and hundreds of applicants or pitch every year, and they select few. I just want to distinguish between real applicants or real pitching and emails, because I don't think we have hundreds and hundreds of startup pitching to the VCs yet. I think we have a lot of people who are just trying and attempting to tell a story, but not really a full pitch. I also believe is that the traditional VC model of, that we've known for years and years, and people are trying to copy from the kind of Silicon Valley where a VC set up office or a VC has some money and wait for people to pitch to them, is not going to work in this part of the world. What really would work is when we flip it on its head. When VCs are not just participants, but are actually builders of ecosystems. VCs cannot just wait for emails and pitch to come to them. They have to be actively going out and reaching out to, and building ecosystems and reaching out to the startups. And there are different models of doing this, and that's what I call venture capital 2.0. We as investors, and Turn8 is started as an accelerator, but right now we're also a fund that is following our startups and investing in bigger ticket items. We are actively going out and reaching out to startups. We hold many activities and events all around the world except the US to really recruit and cultivate these ecosystems. And we hope that this is a much better model than waiting for people to pitch to us.
So look, let's come back to the constraints of investment in a little bit in the new style. But is the biggest constraint on, if we want to think of like hardcore disruptive innovation, is the bigger constraint on that from the side of startups, that we don't have enough startups that are based on core research, on real innovation, that are getting to a state of real readiness for investment? Or is the problem that investors are too risk averse, they want to invest in fast follows, they don't want to invest in something that isn't already proven, which means that we can only do things that are already done before? Where's the barrier?
Well, there are three barriers, I think. You mentioned two. One of them is definitely that we don't have enough innovation centers around here to produce innovations. Innovation centers are the kind of thing you see in universities where solving real problems for the economy or for the society and for the people in the region. We have very little of that, and so that's one barrier, or that's one obstacle. We don't have enough infrastructure to produce innovation. The second one, we don't have buyers of innovations. What I mean by buyers of innovation are corporates who are willing to adapt and sponsor innovations, or actually are willing to use the innovations. I mean, let's be honest, why would the kind of RTA want to compete with an interesting model like Uber and Careem, right? And that's not the right way. It's that we should actually facilitate such innovative business models into the economy that allows us to create more jobs and create more businesses for people, rather than try to compete it and stop it. Corporates in general are not open door for startups and innovators, especially around this region. Their procurement models are very, very, prohibitive for startups to reach out to them in that sense. And the third barrier is what you said, investors want to innovate in proven models. That's why a lot of investors would prefer copycats, things that might have worked and proven to work and have created some, different, created some sort of revenues in other markets, and possibly they bring it here. Innovation is very difficult.
Let's do a quick poll of the audience here. I'm curious who we're talking to and see if we can get a little interaction. How many people here consider yourselves primarily entrepreneurs?
Oh my God.
Okay. How many people consider yourselves primarily investors?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Not as many. Okay, of the entrepreneurs, how many of you think that you potentially have a crazy disruptive idea that if you just got the support you need, this thing would go global and it would become like a big hit?
That's interesting.
Okay. All right, no, so of those people who just raised your hands, I counted maybe like 25 or 30 or something like that. Could you raise your hands again?
That's more
okay.
than 30.
Now keep your hands up. It's okay, just a few seconds. Keep your hands up if you think that you are ready for great investment and support, but investors are not giving you the support that you think you deserve because it's too different or crazy. Keep your hands up if you think that you deserve more support than you're getting. From investors, yeah. Okay. Can we get, I don't know if there's a mic here actually. Can you just shout why? Like, what are the investors telling you?
That's, I think that's the right thing.
What kind of support do you need? You need to get popular. Okay. You need, but you don't need that from investors then. Why don't you get that from media influencers, others, partners?
I think what he's saying,
maybe
Dave,
investors, yeah.
Dave, I think what he's saying is absolutely right. It's not just the money. Innovators don't need just the money. They need a buyer inside corporates, inside people who buy things. They need to work with them to validate. Let me give you an example. If you today have an innovation and you live in the US, you can knock on the doors of GE and Lockheed Martins and even Walmart and be able to reach out to people that can listen to your story and potentially work with you. Many people who work on telecom-based products, the first companies that they use to validate are the big giants, the T-Mobiles and the Verizons of the world and all this, because these corporates want innovations. They want to actually work with these kind of startup. We have difficulty with this here. The first thing you would face is go to procurement, and procurement would tell you, oh, you're a startup, you don't have any validation, you don't even have a company, and you're coming to sell to us, just get away. They don't even ask you about
Wait, hold on, come on, hold on. Wait, what did you say? That you want the traction. You want the folks to consider you viable suppliers.
We need introduction.
You need introductions? What sector are you in? And what are your main clients as you see them? But which sector? You're now in a conference with like 600 people plus a whole bunch of companies. You want me to go introduce you to IBM downstairs? Okay, cool. So you're getting traction, you're getting introductions, you're getting connections.
Exactly.
So you want credibility is what you. So as a startup. Okay, so we need investors and accelerators who will do some of the vetting of the startups to then figure out if this guy is legit or he's crazy,
right.
basically. Right?
Right.
Because it's hard for customers. So it's hard for big companies to see new startups as viable suppliers without some sort of vetting process.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
I think this is what the role of VCs in this region should be. It should be able to facilitate introduction to innovation to the real buyers as well.
Hey, could we just quickly pull them on accelerators here? Like, are there enough accelerators?
No, I think this is true. I mean, Ahmed this morning said something very, very true. We need more accelerators. Why? Because accelerators can actually de-risk the whole value proposition for follow-on investors. They can actually bring they bring sanity into this innovation. So the following investors, the one that wants to invest only in proven things in Series A and Series B, can feel much better because they went through a process called acceleration. We call our accelerator a manufacturer of success. We really believe that it doesn't really happen very natural. Unlike the US or the Silicon Valley, things will not happen very naturally here. What there's needed, there's a ton of hand-holding, ton of development, ton of modeling, a lot of support, a lot of business development, introduction to de-risk this thing for the next investor that has the potential to take it and grow it as well.
Interesting thinking that we need more sanity in innovation. Where from my point of view, we need more insanity in innovation. Yeah, we need more people who are thinking sort of crazy. How can we unlock people?
Well, but what happened is that once it's innovation, it needs to make sense also for the buyers.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. And that's what I meant by that.
So in our programs, we actually work to leverage theater and improv, dance, music, poetry, and like poetry exercise, empathy. Have you guys tried any of that stuff?
Well, no, we haven't done any of that stuff. We're very focused on technology.
I know it happened once or twice before, Steph, that we got all the audience to dance. I don't know if you guys are ready for that this time. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
So I have a question about accelerators. How many of you guys, again, the people who raised their hands before, who have the crazy, amazing ideas that are going to take over the world but are not getting the support, can you all raise your hands again? Okay, there were more hands before. What's going on, people? Don't be shy. Raise your hands, raise your hands. Okay, how many of you have applied to accelerators and didn't get in? Or didn't find accelerators that you were looking for, that had the services or support that you felt you needed? Not many, okay. You guys weren't looking into accelerators at all.
Well, this is one other problem, and we get this all the time, is that people see, they come out of a consulting company, or they've been working in corporate for a few years, and they put together a nice idea, I would say very nice idea, and then on a pitch deck, and they form the team, and they build the front end of the technology, maybe a website or something, and they immediately think they're investable. And that's not true. There's a ton of strategy, mainly around defense strategies, such as really building a real technology, a very innovative technology that allow you to compete, building a great business model that prevent competitors of coming in, building a very robust and very founder teams, or a team that will make the business sustainable. This happens in an accelerator. So they immediately try to skip that and go directly to VCs. And as others have mentioned, it doesn't work. You have to have the foundation done right. And we are hoping that innovative accelerators can build that for the startups.
So look, in my mind, and it's not just me, it's, in the startup world, I talk about how great startups are not based on new ideas, they're based on solving problems.
Right.
And in my mind, here in the Middle East, we have lots and lots of problems.
Right.
Which in that sense makes it an opportunity for exposure to these that I think in many ways people in Silicon Valley don't have, because Silicon Valley is a bubble within a bubble within a bubble. Here, we're exposed to many of these huge challenges around the region, around the world, that are in our backyard. Are we leveraging that to solve problems that can grow to be global startups? And if not, why not? What are we afraid of in terms of building amazing, global startups that solve massive global problems?
I don't think we have a problem of building very innovative global startup that can solve massive problem. The problem is we don't have that infrastructure that allows that startup to grow here. I'll give you a very simple example. There's a huge problem in healthcare. Go find me one place that gives you real up-to-date data about diabetes in the region. You can't. It's very hard. It's very hard for really a great idea and a great team to solve an issue related to diabetes if they don't have data, if they don't have infrastructure, access to validation that allows them to build a great startup. So we do have a lot of problems. We have healthcare problem, we have financial problems. We have one of our startup, and I think he is going to speak here, solving very important issue in the financial industry. And the first thing this startup is going to run into is regulation. You know, a very innovative startup. I think it's one of the most innovative startup you will see. But the first thing they're going to run into is regulations. There is not a single entity is willing to talk today, even in the UAE, about digital banks. And they all say it's not allowed. But here you go. It's a very interesting thing. It does solve a big problem, but it's going to be a very difficult thing for him to roll out as well. So I don't think we have a problem of finding very innovative or working on very innovative projects, very talented people. I think it's just how you scale it with all the different barriers we have around us.
All right, cool. Well, we are out of time, folks. Thank you very much, and good luck to those 30 who raised their hands and the rest of you guys. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.